Okay, guys, welcome back to another video. Today is Thursday, November the 20th. I know a number of you guys are not going to be on the call this evening, so I thought, well, let me do a video and then post it for you, as always. For you bulls that I haven't talked to in a while, I'm available every single day. So if you need to reach me, call me. You can text me and let me know some of the stocks that you are interested in that we need to talk about. So I can't help you if I don't hear from you, and I don't know your schedule, so I will wait to hear from you. So let's talk about a number of stocks from the NASDAQ 100. So I'm going to pull that up and we will go through them. And so I think I'm sharing my screen maybe now. Let me just reconfirm that to be sure here. Okay. One more second. It's already sharing, but I'll just do it again here. Okay, so we will go over some names, a number of them, and we will go from there. All right. Um, we should be looking at Tesla. Tesla, we see has double topped, and we're looking at the biggest time frame at the moment. We know that it has been in an uptrend. So we've got this ascending triangle or ascending wedge, as some people call it. Um, we're up about 5% today, November the 20th. Hopefully we know, that NVIDIA had better than expected earnings, and that has helped a number of the AI and tech stocks, as well as the certain specific indexes, because NVIDIA has a heavy weight on a couple of these. So it should be lifting the stock market in general. So if you're looking at maybe buying NVIDIA, here would be, on a monthly basis, if it came down to anywhere near this 344 range, it should find support in here. On the weekly chart, you can see it more clearly within this monthly wedge that we were looking at. We can also certainly draw the weekly look to get into more of the weeds, and you can see where we stopped right here on support for the weekly. So right in here, if we got to anywhere near 390, it would be a buy. And if we spun on down to the bigger time frame, this monthly support range, but it also is the weekly support range, anywhere near this 345-ish range would be a stronger buy. So Tesla, bigger picture. Told you guys many, many times to have about 75% or so of your money in big cap names. It'll make your life a lot easier. Told you many times to use stop losses, because that will help protect your money. Warner Brothers, I think Netflix had some comments this morning about them uh, posting, or I'm sorry, using or producing some of their content, some of their movies on the big stream, and they were letting Warner Brothers know that. I'm not quite sure why. I didn't lean into it, but I saw that news this morning. Anyway, Warner Brothers up 2%. Certainly on the weekly look, we've got this wider uptrend and then more pronounced right in here. And so it's holding that line, holding that uptrend in here. If it broke this uptrend, I would put an alert in here, somewhere just below 23, and it needs to trade 5% below and close 5% below this uptrend line for it to break it with good volume to confirm that there is a new trend coming, which would be down. Here would be support on the weekly. So if it broke this uptrend and we spun on down, we would find support somewhere around that $20 price range. Bigger picture for Warner Brothers, as we were looking at the weekly, bigger picture shows us, again, we have been going up for about 7 straight months. So this is our weekly line, remember. And then big picture, if somehow the economy went to crap and Warner Brothers rolled over, here's our monthly line, and then it would also find some support that would be in this range in here. So somewhere around this range, if Warner Brothers spun on down to about below 17, it would look more interesting. Put it in alert if we got anywhere near that 16 spot. Kraft Heinz, downtrend. It's been in on the big picture monthly. Overhead resistance here from this channel we were in here where we found support, and then we went through it, became resistance. So we've got this overhead resistance and we've got this downtrend resistance as well. So Kraft needs to, on a big time frame, it needs to spin up and start to push through this area. I'll put an alert around 27-ish. If we can get up in that range, then I might be a little bit more interested in it. On a weekly time frame to lean in a little bit, again, we can see really from this corner down, Kraft looks like, it's kind of gone through this downtrend a bit here. If we use this line and this area right here as our marker, 24.45, 105% is about $1.20 from the 24.45, puts us at about 25.65. Not quite there yet, so I'll also put a marker right up in here, maybe to take a look at it, but knowing that our bigger time frame, you still have resistance above it. So Kraft Heinz, Comcast, downtrend. Still in place. Let's look at the big picture monthly. Monthly, we can see that Comcast still very much in a downtrend, about like so. Looks like we've put in, at least on the monthly, we still got a ways to go. A little bit of a higher low in here. The bottom was 25.75, but remember this candle is still in play. We're only on the 20th of November, so we still have 6 trading days left to see if this bottom holds in here. So Comcast still has resistance up in here somewhere around this $33 mark. Let's take a look at the weekly. Weekly, we see that the downtrend is about like so, leaning into it. It's about like around right there. Be more interested in it if it broke through this 3 weeks of consolidation. We'll see if it can make the turn here. Probably finds a little bit of resistance around 29 and some change, and then again up around 32. So Comcast, still not there yet. Here's the look at the daily. Here's your weekly downtrend still and your daily over the last 5-6 days. Be more interested in it if it made the turn, maybe started printing, pushing 28, but still, again, not there yet with some overhead resistance. KDP, which is Keurig, Keurig Dr. Pepper, big picture, monthly, the stock's been in a downtrend. Then we fell through the roof here for 2 months, and then we put in a bottom here over the last 3 months. And so up a little bit today, nothing to write home about. Would find some resistance here in this on this line. So the upside, is minimal, about 30. You also have this overhead downtrend here. So if it makes the turn, you've got overhead resistance here around 30, and you also have this downtrend line. Again, bigger picture on the monthly. Weekly, let's see what we look like. We've got a bit of a W forming. Here's part of your W. Here's the middle. And then if it went up here, that would be your W. Down, up, down, up. Again, bigger picture lines are above your head. Put in a bottom here for 3 weeks, ran up from about 25 to a high of 28 and some change, back down. We'll see if it can come back up. Looks like stochastics is about ready to make the turn. And histogram has been getting stronger and stronger. So, it could be a nibble. KDP, don't love it, but I would put it at least on the radar. There'll be a lot more purchases and everything, holiday season coming up, all of those good things. GFS Global Foundries. If we take a look at big picture, monthly downtrend, then we've kind of gone sideways for 4 months. Stochastics is looking like it wants to make the turn, relative strength, a little weaker, nothing to really see there. Bit of a channel that we've been in somewhat over the last 6, 7 months. Be more interested in the stock if, again, we broke through this 37.63. That would be where I would be interested in buying the stock. So I have an alert already in place. CSX, we've talked about this one before. Initially, I said, I liked it a little bit at 36 and some change, but I quickly said I liked it a lot more at 37.50. Never got there. We topped a number of times right in here and went down and bottomed out. That was in April. Then the Trump, I'm not going to have any more tariffs kicked in. Stock shot up, but we hit our head on resistance, as you can see. Flirted with it a number of times, and now we've pretty much gone sideways. So CSX would be a hold at this moment, meaning I wouldn't buy it, but if I owned it, I wouldn't sell it either just yet. So it'd be a bit of a hold. Intel, I know some folks have come out of Intel. It's had its little run, from when we broke out down here. We talked about this a few months ago. I told you I liked it. If we started to approach that 25, we did. We ran up to 43. With that good news, I think with their collaboration with, I believe it was NVIDIA, we see we've been in an uptrend for 4 months. We've got December timeframe. The candle will go right in here. If it holds that, it has a chance maybe to make the turn and go higher. So we'll see. Up in here has been resistance going across, hit it again right here. So be more interested in the stock if we started printing 43 and some change to see if we will spin up to this area, 49.50 range, 49.50 range. So there's only so much meat on the bones. Either like it, you buy it with a tight stop, or if we start to push through 43, resistance is above your head around 50. So you just simply do the math to see if it makes sense for you. Fastenal, with the monthly, support range was right in here. We broke through that. Initially, it was resistance right in here. We broke through that and ran, came back, and this now will act as support. So this line, right, my line will be crooked, but right in here. This top went through it, finally broke through it, came back. This is now support. So somewhere around where we're trading now, Fastenal, put it on the list. Looks a bit interesting, but not quite there yet. Here's your uptrend line. So we've got this support line here, plus this uptrend support line. So anywhere right in here around 38.5. Looks a bit interesting for Fastenal. TTD trade desk. It's been in a downtrend for a hot minute. Don't particularly like it, won't waste a lot of time on it. We've got uh, plenty of months to go before we need to make a decision unless it had some fantastic news someplace. Fastenal, this 66 and some change should have been support. We went through it, broke through what was resistance then we spun up to this resistance line here, turned away from, and it came back down. Found support here before, but we've gone through this support line, and now it's acting as resistance, and we're going further south. I would not be a buyer of this stock. Copart. Copart, we've gone up. As we can see, we topped out. We busted through it a little bit here, but really right up in here, we've just kind of topped out several times in this area. We just really haven't punched through with any conviction. And then we've been in this downtrend for 7 months now. So Copart, I think those are auto parts. Don't have a good read on it, don't particularly like it. I'm not sure it's the greatest industry to be in right now. It would be just kind of keep it on my radar if we went through that 39 range. Let's see here. EXC is Exelon Corp. I don't know if that's gas or what that is, power or something. You could see we had this top area, top area, top area, and then we have this ascending triangle we've got going on in here. So it's got several more months before it really needs to make a decision. But if we get through this close of 46.90, we start trading around 48.20, I'd be more interested in it. And I have an alert here. ON is, yeah, on semiconductor downtrend that it has been in for a while. The last 3 months, we've gone sideways. Be more interested in it. If we started to print, maybe around 53, at least take notice. I'm going to mark it in the 53s. The next one, BKR. Actually, I got an alert on BKR this morning, and I see why. Here was your closing high here of 48.72. BKR's got this hanging man going right here. Still got about 6 days in the month. We don't have any sort of confirming volume that we're breaking out, but Baker Hughes, I would put it on my radar and take a look at any more recent news. So we're flirting with trying to break out Baker Hughes, but we've got to have the volume. So we need to get through this area in here for it to make sense. We're spinning up to it, but we're not through it. Baker Hughes. Microchip has rolled over. They're certainly not a leader in the space. Has rolled over. Weekly doesn't really look all of that appealing. It's, gotten weaker, but it's getting close to being oversold on relative strength. Big giant red candle for the month. Should find some support, hopefully down around that 45 range. And downward found support the last time. But again, remember, this is a bit manufactured support because of the Trump reversal in tariffs, because the stock was all the way down to 34. So be mindful of that. It doesn't necessarily have to stop right here at that 45 range. It could just keep on going down. Mondelez. Same thing, downtrend. It's been going down for 5 months. We'll see if it finds support down in here around 54. I'm going to mark it. And if it gets down in there, we'll maybe consider buying support. And when we bounced off, and we hit 55 on the low. But we're not really going anywhere. Mondelez, they're better stocks to buy. Let's see here. PayPal, PayPal, PayPal. PayPal, same thing, rough month. It's actually red today so far at 10:12 in the morning. Um, I've got an alert if it goes below 57, 51. Should find some support somewhere around that 57 range. If it goes through there, then I need to take a hard look at it. DXCM was in a channel for months in this channel right in here where we topped and topped and topped in here, rolled back over, should have found some sort of support in the channel around 65, did not, went through it. Now we're at 60. Um, Not even in an oversold territory. At the moment, it wouldn't be high on my radar. On the weekly, it's trying to at least try to bounce off that bottom a bit. And this is what we kind of look like on the weekly. We've got resistance, up in here around 63. Um, Again, it would be a hold. Uh, but if we start to break through maybe around 66, I might be more interested in it. So market. CSGP, big downtrend, as you can see, broke through support in here, so that will now be resistance. It's going down here and even today, but histogram is firming up and we're near oversold territory. So would be put it on the list, CSGP, take a look at maybe what they do a bit more, but might be good for a slight bounce. CTSH, support down in and around here, around that 65. We bounced off that a few weeks ago. Stock topped here and here. And then, it wasn't a downtrend in here, broke through that, came back up. Needs to really get through the 73 range, and then maybe it can make a run towards 80. So I'll put an alert around 73.41. Cognizant. MNST, Monster Beverage. A lot of folks drink it. It's making new highs. Big picture still going up. Big green candle this month. Powered through this area where it was having resistance for about 4 months in here, powered through there, took a break, powered again, came back and gave it a retouch and powered again. So don't have really an opinion on it, or if we were going to pull back, I would be more interested in if it would pull back to 65, this support range. I'll put an alert in there if we come back. GEHC, GE Healthcare, it's been in a trading range for several months. It's flat. And then we'll see if we make the turn right in here. It's got to get through this range, this 75 range. So I have an alert around 80 if we make the turn. Yeah, I'm here. If it turns and makes the turn, see. Hold on 1 second. Let's see. Okay, so let's see here. What we're talking about. GEHC. All right, so we've been in this trading range for months, guys. The bottom of the range is about 70, the top of the range is about 75. We've been in this range for months. The stock prints above, 5% above, which puts it at about 78-ish. would certainly be more interested in the stock because that means we're starting to break out of that range. Take a look at the weekly. We can see it a lot better. So right in here, around that 78-ish range, still at the top of it. So I'm more interested in it if we start to push 80 plus. We've got to get out of the top of that range. Next one. I guess we won't do all of them. We'll do some of the bigger names. Cisco Systems certainly has broken out over the last 2 weeks. We went through this resistance of 72. If you had an alert in there, pushing, 70, let's see here, if we're talking 72 and some change, 105%, puts you at about 75, 80, about 76. Not bad here because we got good volume last week for the breakout. We closed above that 76-ish range. Again, you guys know how we do this. This is roughly 72.10. 105% puts you at about $3.60. So 72.10 puts you at 75.70. So we're not too far from the breakout. Cisco, you can put that on your list if it gets any kind of pullback, because we did get good volume, you might consider buying it. How about Marvel? We're at 84. I told you guys about this when we broke out around that 78 right in here, ran up to 84. So some profit, but we've got this rounding top action here. More interested in the stock if we come back and get a bit of a retouch, which it did so far this week. We've touched 78 back in here. So it might be one to look at. Marvel popped its head back up to 84. More interested in the stock if we push through this 93 range up in here, the highest close last month. So you could take a nibble out of it, pulled back, and you could buy it if it starts to really go through 93, 94. Starbucks, downtrend for several months. As we can see right in here, we're still right up on it, haven't closed above it, got about 6 days left. Don't really have the volume yet to support, to confirm a breakout, but weekly tells us that we are getting closer, but again, we're in this range. Here's resistance. Be more interested in the stock if we started to push through, say, like 88-ish. Be a little bit more interested in it. Run your numbers, make sure we're 5% above it with good volume. Let's see here. Got a little bit of an internet problem. Let's get this spinning through. Let's see here. Let's see here. All right, so let's get some other big names. AstraZeneca certainly has broken through this top, but are we 5% above it? 87.58. I know we are not. 87. I'll be more interested in it when it hits about 91 and some change. Run your numbers. Let's see here. Let's see here. Do a few more. Netflix, we topped out at 134. We've been in this downtrend. You're more interested in the stock if we get through this line here. 114 puts us at 10% is about what is that, $11 or $12. 6 is 5%, about 120, 121. Be more interested if we started to print that for the breakout. Let's do two more. What is this? CDW. CDW's been in a downtrend. The bottom here was 139. Looks like we're trying to possibly hold that. Um, Bigger picture monthly, still a giant red candle for the month. Don't particularly like it. Looks like a bigger time frame tells you that it needed to hold this 154 range. It has not. One more. Shopify. Shopify, we were in an uptrend, like so. I really went corner to corner. It's more like about, yeah, about the same thing. This corner and these corners coming over. Um, Looks like, Shopify would be more interesting if we could spin on down near support right in here where we broke out here. If we spin on down back to, 123-ish, I'd be more interested in the stock. Um, let's make sure. I know we've done a number of them. This is how I want you to go through big picture and then lean into the smaller time frames. MicroStrategy has been a stock that obviously follows along with Bitcoin. Bitcoin has hit a 7-month low, dragging a lot of digital asset treasury stocks with it. I know some of you own MicroStrategy. It's probably a great one for the long term, and you have to pick your spots. And if you look at MicroStrategy, we are right on support. Ran up from the breakout here. We topped a number of times right in here. So we're in this channel. So if you own it, I would be adding. And anyone who has any sense at all pretty much knows longer term micro strategies, it should do very, very well. If you buy it in here at 183, screaming buy should be pushing this 100 range. If Bitcoin comes down, so too will MicroStrategy. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today. I hope to see some of you guys this evening. If you have some names you want to go over, certainly get me those names. But we're in an environment where um, the markets are just okay with a downward sort of bias, I guess. Some things that were the hot names, like uranium stocks and critical metals and all that other good stuff, have corrected. And because of the relationship with China. So just keep all of that in mind. Know when to take the money. Um, it's really important for you guys to protect gains. And so we've got, again, just a little bit of time left in the year. Think about what you're going to do, how you want to position yourself for 2026. Think about, do you need to clean up your portfolio, take some losses if you need to, versus some of the gains, and then kind of reset and get yourself ready. Add to where you need to add. If you're down in certain securities, if it makes sense to add, then add. If it does not, don't do it. Don't throw good money after bad. And then go from there. Remember, as always, you've got to do your fundamental homework, looking at the press releases, looking at the numbers, what is going on with the particular stock? How do they compare to their peers? What's the environment or the climate look like overall? You've got to combine technical analysis with fundamental analysis, and then you lean into the stocks on the lower time frames to understand where you're going to make your entry points, and you certainly evaluate the bigger time frames to help you understand what the big picture looks like. So you got to put it all together, and that'll help you with your decision making. So anyways, hope you guys are well. Hope to see some of you soon, and I will talk to you later.